Good evening. Good evening, and welcome again to another anticipated show this evening here at Mofo TV. It's been a minute since we last had a discussion, of course, and today, as we had informed you, we are back and we are here to make a good discussion about hearts and hustle, of course. Yeah, we have a lot lined up for you. Keep joining us. Join our live, of course. Share. If you're new here, consider subscribing, of course, because Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. So today, of course, the face you're seeing here is not the new face, not for the very first time. It's a face that you've encountered before, and of course, we are here to share with you whatever concerns the heart and the hustle. When we say about the heart, of course, we have it all. Like the heart is the pumping organ, the one that pumps blood into the whole part of the body, of course. And on the other side, of course, is the heart's decision to love or to hate. I think that is it. So keep welcoming your friends, tell them that we're here, and for the next 45 minutes we are going to have a good and a candid discussion concerning the matters career, of course, and how you integrate them to your relationship, and of course vice versa. So on not on my left, the other side, the other time I said on my left,
still on your left.
So I think tell them, of course, for those who are new, your name and the profession, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
For our new viewers, you're welcome and thank you for joining us at Mo TV. And for my name, I am Chitoma Federation, the guest for this show today. And we are here to talk about heart and hustle. And I am an engineer by profession. Yes.
She is an engineer by profession. She has not changed her name. And that is very important. That's why I gave it to her to introduce herself, because you know people are changing names due to circumstances.
Yeah. Next time utanipata na la kisanii sasa.
Either a disclaimer, do you support Manchester United for the sake?
Manchester United, heartbroken, but it is what it is.
Okay, having said that, I know the do's and the don'ts during the discussion.
Please don't.
And of course, today, as I've told you, we are going to have a touch about the heart and the hustle, of course. This is in a big picture. It's just how maybe we can link our career to our relationship, or our relationship to a career, and vice versa.
Yes.
So definitely think, what is a career?
From a layman's perspective or a layman's language, I'm just going to say career is what you do that gives you money.
Career is what you do that gives you money.
Yeah.
So a person mwenye analima shamba,
hiyo ni farmer, career.
Okay. A person who
Ama farming haiko kwa career pale.
A person who rides
labda mlichange syllabus na tujui. Si motorcycle rider.
Oh, so okay. So anything you do that gives you money is a career.
Yeah.
And what is a relationship?
Well. Relationship is so broad, because a relationship is just like, is it a mutual connection between one person to the other, or maybe a person to, because nowadays people are being related to things even. There are people who have relationship with objects. So yeah, it's somewhat a broad perspective, or it's a broad concept when you talk about a relationship. But from rather a vague explanation, I might just say it's a connection between either a person to a person, or maybe a person with other people, or maybe there are people who have relationship with the supreme being. Yeah.
There are people who have a relationship with the supreme being.
Yes, sir.
Simply meaning there are different types of relationship.
Yeah,
a man to a woman.
Yes.
A mother to a child.
Yes.
God to his creation.
Yes.
So those all are.
And there's also a relationship between you and your friends. Yes.
So definitely we'll back now to the discussion. We now dive into discussion. And remember, I told you, if you're new here, consider subscribing. And of course, welcome your friends. Share the link, tell them that we are live. And of course, we are having a discussion centered around our daily life.
Yes.
So now to the old aspects. We'll go back to the comrade thing. Understand? Because the last week, same time, we were having a touch on the comrade aspect.
Yes.
A comrade is a person who is in school, of course, as I can say.
Yes.
Trying to weed through and get the career. Understand?
Yeah.
So definitely after now being in a position to get this career, there are many people fighting to get the career, of course.
The whole concept around building a career or having a career is kind of complex, because I don't really think it never ends. It never just ends. You know, I used to think after finishing campus, you end it at that point. Like, you say, okay, nimemaliza, nimegraduate, that's the end of life. Career is something you build every day, every time. It's like a character. Yeah.
Career is something you build every day. It is endless.
It is endless.
Until the last day.
That's my perspective. Maybe our viewers today might tell us if they have another perspective of a career, because to me, I think a career is something that you build every day. It's like a character you build every day. The more you grow, the more your career grows, or the more you pivot to other careers. And yes.
What is the importance now of having a career? Like
I think for one, career gives you a purpose in life. Yeah, because when you wake up and do whatever you love doing, it gives you the purpose in life. And number two, it removes you from thinking of vices, of doing vices. Again, it reduces criminal charges or cases in Kenya. Everywhere, not only in Kenya, because
that's
when people, that's an economical aspect of it.
Criminology.
Yes. And another thing about career, again, it helps people to like be employed.
So I think career tries to elevate one's mind from a different a zero belonging
to a hero.
It's all right, as you say, to a hero. So of course we serve different careers. Am I right to say like a person who doesn't, of course we say from your definition, anything you do that gives you money is a career. So am I right to say like a person who doesn't get money doesn't have a career?
Oh my God. But then at the end of the day, what are you doing in your career if it is not bringing you money? I beg, in this economy.
So a career should bring you money.
It should bring you money. It's not like a hobby that you can be doing when you're bored or when you in your spare time. You know, hobbies, they can be voluntary. You can say, I have a hobby of maybe helping people, visiting the elderly, and it's a hobby you can volunteer in the elderly homes and like just help. That with the voluntary, you're not expecting something in return. But niambie, umeendesha ndudhi from morning to evening without expecting an income. What are you doing?
It's a joke.
Exactly.
Are people having different careers according to how maybe students get into a different tertiary or maybe university?
Of course, the careers are very diverse, because that's why we have doctors, we have teachers, we have the businessmen,
engineers, of course, journalists.
Yes.
So that's what I'm asking. Do you feel like we have some doctors who are engineer by mistake, or have some engineer who are doctor by mistake? Because definitely you get into class, of course, you find somebody. So at the other time we were having a discussion about the same. Like mtu akishika kitu hivi, it sells. Understand? And then kuna mtu mwingine akishika haiuzi. So definitely bala mtu afanye tu business management, amegwama kwa law.
I think again, most of the blame I want to put it on the curriculum we're having right now. Unaonanga ile point when unamaliza high school, after a few months you need to have figured out what you're doing, and then there's this fixed mindset of specific careers. Like gone are the days where people used to do cosmetology. Unajua cosmetology ni nini? Unajua?
Cosmetology sini ya kudili na makucha.
It's like a full course ya beauty and everything entailing beauty. Hata massage kwa hapo kwa cosmetology bado. Wase vinyozi bado iko kwa cosmetology. So gone kitambo sana. I think our parents ama wenye sasa tunaweza jiita Gen Z, most of parents are ni millennials kweli ama ni boomers?
Millennials.
Okay, some are millennials, wengine ni boomers. So most of our parents hawako wanajua the other careers that you can explore. Kama kitambo ukienda kuambia mzazi mimi naenda into digital, I want to go learn content creation, nenda kufanya nini shule? Because he's thinking he's going to spend millions on you going to do content creation na maybe haita kulipa, because they are used to traditional jobs like a teacher, a doctor, an engineer. So the whole thing about careers tulidanganywa. That's why unapata mtu ana graduate with a degree in law, but they are doing business. They are very great salesmen and they are very good digital marketers. maybe mtu amefanya engineering, at the end of the day utapata huyu mtu ana maybe ako into teaching again, or maybe that's why the whole thing of careers at the end of inahitaji kupivot every time. Ukiona ni kama hapa ndo penye interest iko, you pivot. Yeah.
Based on your definition of the word career.
Unanirudisha huko.
No, you are most of viewers who are watching definitely to tell us like if at all there is a different.
Actually, I would like to know in your perspective, what do you think a career is?
So do we say like it's not an offensive question, of course, but is there anybody who was just born to maybe build, do construction, mjengo, or do construction mjengo, or of course ride a motorbike?
I think it's something about what do we call it's how life gets you there. Yeah. Because sometimes you might be a trained or a professional engineer, but where life takes you, unajipata kwa construction, ama unajipata kwa mjengo, ama at the end of the day unajipata uko na nduthi ingine imenyamaza kwa garage. Why not make money from it?
So it's simply like, for example, let me use for example, that's riding and do this. Is it a career? Or amongst other?
It's a business, so it's a career.
It's a business, so it's a career.
It's a business, so it's a career, because I think businesses come in many forms. Yeah. So, even being a masseuse, it's a business, so it's a career. Yeah.
Okay, I will not want to dig deep into that. We are looking at the whole aspect of the health and hustle, of course. And where we are looking, where the issue of health touches much on the issue of relationship and love, because the decision of the heart, not the decision, of course, in connection with your mind, the heart has the decision to love or to hate.
Oh my God.
That is it. And of course, the hustle, of course, as Chitoma has said, is a thing or something that gets you out and brings money at the end of the day in relation to career, of course. So I think we have touched on the whole issue of like people doing their own career, some not serving their interest, and of course the discussion was there last time. We don't want to dig deep into that.
Okay.
And now we want now to integrate the two issues, of course.
The hearts,
and now to bring in the aspect of health after now dealing with the issue of the hustle.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to, I think this is more of social law. When it comes to the issue of the heart now, of course, it is the heart's like desire to do law, because you feel like I'm passionate about this. It's the heart's desire to do engineering, because you feel like my capability goes in line with this. So after doing this, the heart now in social life will love or will hate. Understand? And in relation to this, it will in our relationship. It will lead to a relationship where unaweza penda msichana kama we ni mvulana, na unaweza penda mvulana kama we ni msichana. And now hatujasahau the issue of career. You are an engineer, for example. Let's use you for example. So you want to bring this this engineership to this relationship. How is that, Jan?
I mean, the whole thing about, let me put it in another perspective of work-life balance, is the life is where now you have, because again, humans, the way we were created to be relatable to other people. Like you have to have relationships with other people, be it friendship, be it in the family perspective, be it in the, what do we say, in the heart to heart, issues of marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend type of relationships. It is a whole wild concept. And when we are talking about work-life balance, it's again another perspective where people have to integrate where boundaries come from, and how to like navigate the whole issue about their balancing their career and again balancing their love lives at home. Yes.
Also now we'll go now to the example. Let us talk about live situations. You understand? You are a young woman.
Yes.
I am a young man. Understand? Let me say I'm a farmer. Understand?
Yes, you're a farmer.
And unaweza kuwa mlimi mzuri.
Ati mlimi? Is that Swahili?
I don't know. So naweza kuwa mlimi.
Sawa mlimi.
Naweza kuwa mlimi kwa mfano, si ndio? Sitaki kusema mlimaji. So definitely we are wasting it, like wacha tuachiki Kiswahili watu wao. So for example, mimi ni mkulima kwa mfano sasa, si ndio?
Yes, yes.
Like I want to bring in the aspects like relationship. The not the wife.
The girlfriend, the wife, whatever doesn't work, because I really don't think there is a limit to anything here.
You start from a girlfriend to a wife. You don't start from a wife to a girlfriend.
Ni sawa, unaweza anza hata from a friend to a girlfriend to maybe a wife.
So definitely mimi ni mkulima, si ndio? Nataka nafanya ukulima kwa mfano. It is a career on its own, as you just said. Something I do that brings me money.
Yes.
And let me say I have a girl somewhere whom I want now to bring to my life through the relationship. She be my girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
Understand? She's pursuing much in the white collar.
She has a white collar job.
Yeah, kazi tu ofisi tap kidogo kaptengele.
You wanaitwa corporate buddies.
Of course, that is say it again.
Corporate buddies.
So most definitely, like she's measuring in a white collar.
Yeah.
Yani kaptengele pesa inakuja.
Tapelenge. Tapelenge sasa ni wengine.
So unaelewa. So the thing is that there is love in between the two people. The hearts, understand, are connecting somewhere.
Yes.
Unaelewa.
Yeah.
But now, to the bigger picture, she might not be interested in the profession I'm doing. Which struggle can I undergo to make now, speaking from a woman's perspective?
From a woman's perspective, choose a struggle. You're going to struggle because
be honest.
I'm being honest, by the way, because actually not by the way, I'm really being honest, because this is what happens in life. You meet a girl and then maybe you are a farmer. This comes from like maybe she's a white collar corporate body and maybe you are in the blue collar business or maybe blue collar job, and now you want to navigate that whole paradigm. So if that girl cannot understand that this is the path of your career, then you're just dealing with a dead end. And it's a vice versa type of thing, because again, if a man cannot understand that you need to work as a person because you need to build yourself in your career, then it's a dead end. Because number one, it's going to create miscommunication, difficulties in the relationship, because by the end of the day, you want to build yourself as a person, as a farmer, as an engineer, as a technical person, and then you have this other person who is pulling, like ni kama push and pull. So you two forces are pulling against each other. Hamkutani hapa katikati. So in most cases unapata relationships kama hizo, if you cannot amicably sit down and understand each other from the whole career perspective, then you guys are on a dead end. Dead end.
You are on a dead end. So I've asked my question with a bigger picture, like are career considerate when people are getting to a relationship?
Yeah.
Or we consider hearts first, what the heart feel towards you, and then I bring in the career.
Pesa itakuja na itashinda hapo, wale wa mioyo zinaweza enda.
So career,
I think in this generation and the way amtakula, kuna hii saying mamito huwa anasema uwezi mix taxes na love. Sai taxes ziko juu sana, chagua struggle. So either you're struggling in love or you're struggling in taxes, but if I were you, I'd struggle in taxes. Uchague moja. Because right now the economy is too hard, so if you guys are going to focus on love,
so you struggle with the taxes?
I think it's for, I'll go for career.
You go for a career. You will better date a career than, because that is what that is my question.
No, I'm not saying I'm dating a career.
Yeah,
the people who date their careers,
like okay, the man is not promising, but just because he's in the limelight and people can see about him, let me just persevere. And of course, maybe I want a served woman because my woman is not on many social media. She's only on just WhatsApp and Instagram.
So the problem is no. The problem here is not the career. Actually, it's the social media.
No. Okay, she can be a reserved person. Hatoki kwa nyumba, working from to four corners. You understand? So people will date a career. I'm like asking.
Are you trying to mean it's very difficult to date a career woman in this century?
Cultural wise, let me bring it now this way. For example, cultural wise, can an engineer get married to let's say a career, right? Boda.
These things work.
Okay.
It's going to be okay. Honestly, it's going to be a difficult twist, but if there is communication and then there is boundaries, alafu pia hapo hivyo kuna compromise, because again we are talking of an engineer earning probably 120k a month. The boda, I'm not so
daily
sure.
5,000.
Seme daily 5k.
Yes.
Hey, hao pia wana earn. Unajua in 30 days only 150k.
They earn.
It's even more than
it's only
an
expenditure
engineer.
that normally brings trouble.
So to say maybe, or let's talk about the prestige of the job, because in the societal norms dictate that an engineer is more prestigious than a boda person. So I think the dynamics will be difficult to work, but if they are to work, then the two people have to compromise a lot.
Is there no threat, like not just social media, but the society judgmental aspect that we took you to a school?
Yeah.
We paid millions, of course, for you to call yourself an engineer. There's a lot of expenditure.
Yeah.
And you just came back to bring us a person who did not see a tertiary institution.
I think okay, for the culture and again the societal perspective, there's always that judgment. Definitely there's always that judgment, but do you know what happens apart from the judgment? There's always that aspect of who does my person like mtu wangu anakaa aje.
Yes.
Unaona ile saa yenye watu wanasema eti mimi ndo namjua, I know my person very well better than you guys know.
My man.
My man. So do you know your person as much as such that you are very confident in them, hata utaweza shan hizo vitu zenye watu wanaongea huko nje? Because at the end of the day, if you're prestigious in your career and then you date someone who is somewhat low prestigious in your career, according to societal norms, people will always judge and people will always talk. So as a person, whether it's a man or a woman, itabidi ukae chini ujue hizo vitu zote. Will I silence that noise? Am I strong enough?
But why should you sit down and start fighting with the society?
Unajua mapenzi wewe? Unajua mapenzi wewe?
That is why I've said my man. Understand? Like is a dream of every woman to say like my man will take care of that. My man is coming.
But at the end of the day, even if I'm an engineer and you're a boda person, I expect you to provide. I expect you to.
And that is where I was going. You're earning us roughly 150,000 per month. Boda would bring on the table each and every day 5,000, and it will go all into the expenditure. Will he not maybe is there some unfairness?
Sasa si ndo nakwambia hapo ndo
ama pesa mwanamke ishikwe.
I mean like let me tell you, there's the delulu. Unajua delulu ni nini? There's the delusional aspect of it, and then there's the reality kwa ground. Reality kwa ground ina dictate you people should work together to make you guys' dream, because again as a couple you guys need to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, otherwise mnaishi hapo aje. Naget. So it takes two people to make sure the dream is working. You see? And so the fact that this man is bringing 5k every day and you're bringing probably like 150 or 200 a month, there's one way. I think women in the comment section, I know you guys are going to come for me, but here's what I'm saying. Try support. Jaribu kusupport.
Is our plea from the heart. Try and support.
You can
say that.
But again, the problem is.
Tell them again. Try and do. Try and support.
The problem is sometimes you might support an unsupportable man. Unajua kuna ule mtu mwenye unaweza support mtu hadi wewe mwenyewe drained. Now that's where the boundaries come in. How much can you support until you can't support anymore?
The strength.
Unaishi watu nguvu. Kuna watu wenye ni lazima usukume. That's why last time I was telling you guys about kuna wanaume wanataka kuwekwa. And now that I'm earning this.
Kwani kuna shida? Kuna shida.
Oh Lord, the men that you gave us now want to be required.
No, hakuna shida. Si ni kusaidiana.
Just be.
Your career is earning you money as immediate as you are out of the campus.
No,
mine is taking time as as maybe as it can
You're
before
earning 5K a month as a day as a boda
boda.
What do you mean? At the end of the month, you're like earning 150K.
At the end of the month.
Yes.
But you have come in a package, and of course there's a daily expenditure. So the thing is, okay, let us not major into
financial literacy. People should learn financial literacy. Yeah.
So how do you teach a person, for example, is a person who did not just got a blessing to go into a higher learning institution? So financial.
Do you know financial literacy? You don't really need to go to a higher institution of learning. It's life skills. Because right now, for example, Lokinda, let me tell you, if I tell you I give you 30K and I want you to budget yourself for the rest of this month, you already know how you're going to navigate that
30K.
30K.
Okay. Take some juice, of course. It's basic. Yeah.
Hii nakwambia tu 30K hiyo inamaanisha nimekuweka mahali, you need to pay rent, you need to do everything. Siwe mtu kama wewe una budget hadi unajua mali penye life yako iko, unaeka hiyo 30K according to the way your life standards are. Si ndio? So that's something you don't need to tell me eti ni lazima uende shuleni kalamu na kitabu, you be taught how to be financial literate. Si lazima ufunzwe. Vitu zingine ni life skills. You grow up, the way life takes you, you already know 30K inafaa kunitosha this time of the month. Okay, how am I supposed to budget this money up to this? Okay, na earn 5K. How am I supposed to budget such that zingine zinaenda kwa savings, zingine zinatumika? Because tell me, which household in this economy, watu mko rich huku nje 5K a day?
So unasema wale watu ufanya financial analysis and whatever. It's not just, it's not
okay, there are financial analysts. Hao sasa lazima waende shule. They have to learn.
Lakini hata pia ukinipia 30,000, I analyze what is the long term. Wacha ni buy sukari, majani, chumvi, mafuta. Those are long term for the next 4 weeks.
Exactly.
Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So are you just setting according to where to use?
You have to know where to use and how much am I using, how much am I saving. That's part of the financial literacy.
How much am I using, how much am I saving?
How much are you saving? Because hatuwezi kula love kila siku.
Hatuwezi kula love kila siku. That is it from one and only anaitwa Chitoma Federation. Tell me in the comment section if some careers fail to integrate. Like unapata like kama ni mwalimu haizi oana na mwalimu mwenzake, ama kama sio kuoana, wacha to speak from the dating aspect. Kama ni tuseme mbona engineer sana
jamani, mtumia hata walimu wa daktari, we have nurses.
Kama ni daktari hawezi date mwalimu kwa mfano, si ndio?
Yeah.
Ama mwanahabari na mwalimu hawezi date, because these are all two people who depend on their mouth for career sustainability.
Yeah.
Unaelewa? So tell me in the comment section if at all the two cannot if there are careers, of course, which does not integrate with another career, so that we get to know. I think naona Rohan anasema go girl, my girl on it again. And then of course one and only Pablito Jesse Julia, the birthday boy. I forgot to update you with that. The birthday boy, and it's about great stuff here. The guest is amazing. Thank you very much, Pablito Jesse Julia. He's always one of us here at Mofo TV.
Yeah.
And he's away on of course official duties from the team here. So now we'll jump. I think time is running a bit, but I will jump into our next discussion of now career integration, of course. And it is where we can now bring the two. It's not the inferiority part of it, but between a woman, a lady, a girl, of course, and a young man, who normally have challenges to uphold the career into a relationship.
I think the most affected gender when it comes, I feel like the most affected gender is the female gender. Because I think cultural wise, women were meant to be in the house. They
Submissive
were meant
to
to be submissive.
Not cultural, Bible, biblically.
Zote jamani. Peleke pole pole mwana.
God-wise.
So, okay, culturally, let me talk about cultural perspective. Women were naturally the people who are supposed to nurture. They're supposed to take care of the family. So, utapata even career women, they are struggling to get a balance of the two. If you choose, the world has put a woman in a place where you have to choose one. And if you have to choose two, you have to be really, really good at it.
Choose what?
Now, marriage or relationships and career. Navigating as a woman, when you get from work, sisi sote tumeenda job 8, probably tunaenda 8 to 5. Tumetoka 5 kila mtu, sisi sote tumechoka. But as a woman, again, society ina dictate ni lazima uende kwa jikoni upikie bwana.
Mnatoka saa 2, mnarudi saa 11, but you have to do extra.
You have to do extra.
Mimi nikipika natoa socks na viatu.
Unatoa socks na unaweka.
Angalia kitu gonna happen during the day.
Exactly. You stay there, watch the TV and everything. But as a woman, now ukitoka kazi, you're obligated. In fact, in some families, hata hakuna like, okay, I understand that in some families the men always step up kwa kusaidiana na vitu kama hizo.
In some. Alright.
But in most families, again, vitu huenda mrama.
In most, sasa hiyo ni yetu sasa.
Kina wewe?
In most, mimi director tuko hiyo in most.
Sasa nyinyi wa hiyo most, nyinyi ndio mnataka wanawake wa work. You work as a career woman and come back to the house and still feed me. And now it becomes a challenge when the children are in the equation. Because now it's not just taking care of a man, you have to take care of the kid too.
Yes.
Ukitoka kazi, you have to make sure mtoto pia maybe ametoka shule, maybe kama ni daycare, ameshinda aje the whole day. If you need to bathe the kid, maybe take care of them homework wise and everything. Kuna vitu kama hizo. Alafu it comes to a point where there are some men wenye hawatakangi wanawake wakwe na house helps kwa nyumba. You see, that becomes a very big challenge.
They are men's or women's?
Actually,
is it both?
Or rather maybe both. Kuna wenye sasa hawataki house helps kwa nyumba. So you don't need, exactly. You don't have a nanny. Wewe ni wewe na hizo kazi zako the whole day. And you've been at work, working 8 hours. That becomes a challenge because at the end of the day, mwili pia uchoka.
So you feel like...
So I feel like
women's who normally get it harder to do what? Forgo their career?
Yeah, mostly, most of them who are forced to compromise.
So it is from a women's perspective.
Women's perspective. Or a woman's perspective for the least. Let me hear your perspective though.
Okay, my perspective is, as you just said, like, Mimi and director, we sit on the bench where... we are sitting on a bench, definitely, where you find it like... okay, in the Biblical, I'm a spiritual person. It's not a disclaimer. It's not an obvious disclaimer. It is just a disclaimer.
We respect that.
You understand? So according to biblical understanding and how I've read it personally, a man was given dominion over so everything before God, it has to. So like mwanaume ndo sauti ya nyumba. Unaelewa?
Yeah,
so of course I tend to understand like if I become lenient, I'm not that so muscular even nini. Like if I become lenient, that's where you say like in some society men step up to offer an aid.
But is it so bad to step up though?
It depends.
Will it hard for you to like mimi ni mke wako, I come home tumechoka sisi sote. You help me around the house. Is it so bad?
Chitoma, this thing depends with how a man was raised. Understand? Vile alilelewa akaambiwa.
Do you know what, Yaukinda? There are some things that you were raised and told to do and you're not doing them.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm
doing everything that I was.
I'm yet to find out, but if kuna vitu zingine tu ulifunzwa since utotoni, your moms and dads walikufunza. My son, this is how you do it. This is what you do when you get into such a situation, or when you get this such situation. This is how you do it. But then, do you still do them though?
At some point you forgo others, but they are basically...
That's the whole point.
They are basically, because I'm now going to next discussion.
Yeah.
The discussion where after career, some are integrating and some are not integrating. The next question is this one. Because of career superiority. You understand?
Yes.
You are an engineer.
That's why women really choose their careers.
You
and
understand?
they forgot this whole thing of marriage.
And then there is this person, of course, who is a IT expert. Like which one? Ni gani tumetoka kwa the hearts now.
Tumetoka kwa
career. Wewe tuseme sasa tumeenda career wise, tumesoma, kila mtu ametoka kampo. Wewe ni mwanahabari, huyu mwingine ni mwalimu. Mkikuja kwa nyumba, which career is inferior? Kuna ile career inaingia kwa nyingine. Tuseme wewe ni msichana, umefanya engineering, ndio. Mimi nikafanya yani nikafanya course yenyewe
journalism. Acha tuseme ni journalism.
Si journalism itakuwa na nini, itakuwa na uzito. Acha I'm not underestimating
ni kama
I'm not underrating any career.
For him.
But this one Shitoma umefanya like you are an engineer. And you remember you are a woman.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
And then mimi I'm a teacher. I teach English at the primary level.
Yeah.
Unaelewa? Is it like kuna career yenye inadai? Like siwezi hata tukianza kugombana sikujibu sana because utaanza kuniambia
you know recently there is that discussion of you people who are in a relationship, how do you date what when you have a degree?
Yeah, so that is what I'm asking. I think we have elevated this from a broader aspect.
Mkianza kugombana na mtu the degree aspect inaingia na but I always think like those things do not matter.
They matter.
You're a teacher, I'm an engineer. We cannot always be on the same levels. That's why vidole za mikono hazitoshani ama
you know it is
intellectually
traditionally
intellectually uko mahali kwingine, intellectually mimi pia niko mahali kwingine. Can we just agree that intellectually hatutaifanana in a marriage, in a relationship whatsoever?
It is taken like traditionally mwanaume lazima afanye kozi ngumu.
Nani alisema? Na ndio mnakufa huku na vitu za mental health issues. Nani amesema hiyo?
Mwanaume lazima afanye kozi ngumu. Ni kama for example
attacking.
You might be attacking or defending, but the thing is this one, like traditional unapata like mwanaume lazima afanye kozi yenye ngumu. Kama for example, acha sasa tuende kwa hii sasa, siko ubaya. I'm not offended. Like I'm saved na mimi
jitetee kabisa.
Na mimi kwa Mwenyezi Mungu, lakini tuseme wewe ni engineer. Tunarudi tu hapo. And then bwanako ni pastor.
Waneno kwanza unajua siku hizi wenye mapasta wako na do.
An engineer is mtu ana reason na math.
Hapo sasa tuangalie intellect, tunaangalia do.
Pastor mwenye ako ushago kwa mfano, si ati mwenye ako Nairobi.
Hao ndo wako na do. Unajua wanaleta wangu wa Sunday kuku. Ushaenda church za ushago? Sunday. Kuku, mwingine anamletea mahindi, mwingine anamletea crops, everything they harvest. Those people never lack food supplies. I'm
now speaking in matters a relationship. Kwa mfano, kuna pastor mwenye hajaoa na anataka kudate engineer. Unaelewa?
Si wanaweza.
So bila anataka kudate engineer, anachunga sana. Hiyo aspect ya
hata huyu engineer anataka sana.
Hapo mahali pa kukosana, hapo kwa kurushana maneno, it shouldn't arise because it arise, it will bring troubles. Ataanza kuambiwa like theology na nini hazipatani.
Unajua ngambio kinda. I think hiyo ni perspective tu yako. There are people who out here, I think let me just say maybe it takes an open mind to date. Hiyo dynamic ya pastor engineer work. But unajua at the end of the day mimi nashuku pastors always come from a certain career. Hawafanyangi, most of these pastors hata hawafanyangi hiyo kukua pastor full time.
So nganga soma theology.
Commander achana na commander. Commander ni different story. Yeye yake ako full time.
Basi kusikia
nitaenda hiyo church yake kwanza. So I think hii story yote ni it takes an open mind. How open minded are you kuelewa umse? Alafu pia inabidi uelewe mtu. Usiweke tu hiyo mask ya now he is a teacher. Utapata tena kuna hao engineer, yes ni engineer, intellectually ako juu. But ikifika kwa life skills drop dead. Unaona? Life skills haziko kabisa. Akili iko, lakini pale kwa kujaribu hata maintaining a mutual conversation, the only conversations wanaweza tengeneza ni maybe za equipments na machines. But conversation yenye inaenda out of their career, kidogo hapo kuna tatizo. Unaget? So mimi naona hii kitu ni kuelewana. Let's even, I think the whole thing about career and relationships, can we just normalize a career where you assume you don't know what the other person does?
You assume you don't know what the
other person does. First date questions now, what do you do?
I was to bring a question. I'm still just stuck there hapo kwa si mtu anafanya theology. She's a student. We are not speaking about a disclaimer, we are not talking about married people. We are speaking about students and more so comrades in this line of discussion.
Ujui marriage squeezy kona comrades. Comrades wamewana huko.
So the thing is this one, a comrade who's doing theology. Nimesema to underrate kitu yoyote, it is just equal. We are just trying to bring the aspect, a hidden aspect.
Comrade akoseni na
Yeah, anafanya theology and then of course from there nini from mtakatifu kidogo hivi anaanza kudate. Sasa wewe ukisema we ignore, itakuja siku atakwambia like roho wa Mungu ananiambia leo tuna fast. Understand? And you know how to partake a math class on an empty stomach test. Understand? These are two careers they are trying to integrate.
You need to separate your career and naonanga pastors huko nje wanajaribu kusema ukifika kwa nyumba you are a husband, you are not a pastor. You're not coming to pastor me, you're not coming to preach to me. Kitu unakuja kufanya ni unakuja kukua kondo wako wako huko church. Sumbana na huko kondo.
Sasa nimekuambia huyu amekuja akakwambia leo tuna fast. Bwana ameniambia.
Hiyo pia lazima ikuwe mutual. I have to be a spiritual person to really.
Labda wewe unapenda sherehe nini and then of course
Joda siku nao mapasta wenye umeona hiyo challenge ya me at 2 am and me at 8 am. You should spend more time on the internet. Pastors are in the club at 2 am and 8 am wako church.
Is a career now. Nowadays is taking a career, is no longer a calling.
Ai, hizi vitu sahi life acha ngombe unaona hizo vitu zenye unajaribu kutheory. Inaitwaje unaleta theory. Eka in practical life. Because I'm thinking if somebody is a pastor, utaleta mambo ya Roho Mtakatifu hadi kwa nyumba jamani. Kwani how are we going to procreate? Ukileta mambo ya Roho Mtakatifu.
How are we going to
reprocreate ama ni procreate?
All right. Exactly. It's a discussion for another
day. Discussion altogether.
Let me go back to the basic and pick up that in this second phase tukimalizia.
Yeah.
You are now a graduate, of course, as a woman, as a man, and you are getting into a relationship, and this getting into a relationship is getting getting you into a relationship where the partner, whether the man or a woman, it is he or she is so vocal, of course. Understand? Very vocal, and then when it comes to money, anapata pesa, anakwambia you are a graduate, yes, jakataa umeenda shule, umengaika, you have starved, and then you've gotten your papers. Your family is looking at you. Kanisa ilikusomesha. You have to give back to them.
Giving
for
back
example,
to the society is very normal.
You get it. So the thing is, anakuambia like, kaa kwa nyumba, I will provide everything. Because our friends get themselves in such like a situation.
So you get to a relationship and then the man tells you
neurosurgeon anakuambia ni nini tunasumbuana
nitakuprovidea kila kitu.
Nitakupatia. Mama wako anataka pesa kwenda wapi, nitakupatia.
Ni bora nipe allowance ya kuwa wife nitakuwa.
So kulinga sawa. Vile umesema, you know, I'm trying to get you now the discussion. Vile umesema like in most cases is a woman who finds herself in a situation where she has to forgo her career and look at after a relationship.
Niliona bibi ya Ronaldo by the anapewa allowance ya kuwa wife.
Bibi ya Ronaldo.
Yani.
Hapa Kenya umesikia nani labda anapewa allowance?
Mara sijui. Lakini if you're going to put me in the house allowance.
Okay.
Please.
So according to your description, you say like most cases the women who get themselves in a situation where they have to forgo their career, their profession, and major into take care of the relationship, build a family together.
Yeah.
So is it so underestimating? Like,
I think it's not really underestimating, but nilisema tu in general utapata mwanamke mostly ndiye ana compromise. Wacha nibaki nyumbani, I build the family, I take care of the kids. Okay. But sasa inafikanga point yenye as a woman pia uko tu ile ya okay, the whole career thing balancing. Na ndio maana nilikuwa nakwambia ikifika kwa kubalance your life as a person in a relationship and then your life as a career woman, kidogo inakuwa ngumu. You're forced to choose one. So inaendanga either two ways. Una choose career, you lose the man, or you choose the career, mambo inaanza kuleta shida kwa relationship, ama you choose being a stay at home mom. Exactly.
Akomredu just finished her classes at school, of course. Just graduated kwa mfano. I don't know much about that. Amemaliza shule and there are those who opt like, let me build myself first, reach somewhere, and then get into a relationship aspect. And then those who try to double check them like wanaenda nazo mbele. Who's a safer comrade?
I think if
maybe umetoka kampo ukiwa na 20 to 21 years.
Okay, if it is working for you, do it. if you feel like you managing a relationship and trying to build yourself as a person professional wise is working for you, do it. Sasa shida ni kuna watu wengine hawawezi multitask. Unaona? Kuna watu hawawezi ingia into relationship na wajaribu kujuggle their career. Moja inapatanga ina lag. So as a person pia unafaa kujielewa, do I want to build myself as a career woman or do I want to build myself as a career man first before now I get into these other things, the relationships and everything. That's why you need to understand yourself as a person. Alafu pia ina depend tu na the goals you have as a person. The goals I have as as a career woman may be different from what you have as yourself. Because mimi naeza taka nimalize shule, I build myself pole pole hadi nifike ile place penye unaonanga ile class 2 kiuliza what do you want to be when you grow up. Maybe when I grow up I would want to be a president. I'm building myself from this political lineage one brick by brick. Nataka nifike hapo. So I need to focus on my career at that point. But then if I feel like I can juggle with the relationship, well and good. Kama hakuna watu wenye wanagombana kwa hiyo relationship, hakuna kitu inaachwa ina lag behind, well and good. If it is working for you, you do it. But again, if it is not working for you, you need to choose one. Pick a struggle. Because you can't be struggling twice. If it is career that you want to pursue, naka tu chini na mjamaa unamwambia unajua ni nini kuna vitu haziwaka hapa na unaachana nayo.
According to how things are
amicably by the way. Sasa unaamka tu siku moja na unabeba virago unaenda.
We have people who are poor negotiators. They don't know any discussion.
Yeah,
I find it sawa mimi nimeenda.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think like of late if you look at our generation, of course that is generation Z.
Gen Z
of course, unapata like there is a scare. Like in future we might not have a working relationship, families, because of that. I don't want to sink deep into that. Now my question
want to sink deep into that.
Discussion for another day.
We might want.
Now my question goes this,
yes.
Like do you think like those people who try to partake career together with the relationship unafikanga mahali unapata like the relationship is not working, so wanasema like wacha ni deal na career and then unapata like memes, the trend, of course memes are made by people out of positivity.
It's called fasihi kioo cha jamii.
Of course, so unapata like wacha nifanye kazi, build your own money, blah 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 blah, and you find like sayo career like relationship ishakuacha na mtoto mmoja ama wawili, so you start building, you remember like, oh, I was a doctor, I was a nurse, you know, I need to major into this and bring the fruits home.
And do you know that really costs women too much?
And is it the best way to learn?
I think it's not. Honestly, it's not. But again, learning from mistakes is the best lesson. Yeah, because again, look at it in this way. You're a woman, you prioritized, okay, maybe you thought this relationship is going to work out. You decide to give it a try. You give birth to maybe the first baby, second baby, and then 5 years into, I think 5 years, with this generation, 3 years into the relationship, you find out, this is not where I wanted to be. Or again, it comes with matters of comparison. Unapata kuna ule beshte yako, mwenye mlimaliza naye campus, so like, they are advanced professional wise, and now you try, kwani nili, where did the rain start beating me? You get? So you have to be like, ni nini mbaya? You start thinking for yourself. Nikiwa mdogo, I wanted to be this ambitious person. I wanted to be this professional person. But sasa inafika place, I am just reduced to being a mom. There are women who love being a mom. No offense to them. I love that they love that. But then there are people who come later wanaanza ku regret, why did I put myself in this situation? So unapata vitu kama hizo, mtu akishaanza ku regret, matters of regret in future, inaanzanga kuleta sasa issues that they are not satisfied where they are. That's where they drop the whole relationship thingy, and now they start from scratch, building themselves one by one. Yeah.
So it is just, I've measured in one point. You say like, the learning from mistake is the best way. You said it that way. So I'm trying to feel this way, like, is it necessarily for those people who are partaking the two sides, like the relationship and the career, if you can mahali, some go through.
Yeah, some really walk through until they are old.
They go through, anapambana, like ametoka kazi, alikuwa amekosana na boy wake kidogo, lazima pia watengeneze peace, through phone call, nini, you did this, and then just
you guys make peace through phone calls.
Okay, I see it online. I don't. I like personally. I don't know. Unaona like maybe.
True.
Eh?
Okay, this is a relation again. You're raising a lot of questions.
I'm trying to measure in a sense like when a young man invites a lady like, let's come make peace.
Hey, let's talk. Table things on the table.
Do they normally talk or it ends somewhere?
Wherever it ends, but at the end of the day, it won't
It's
get.
peace you are looking for.
We let's talk. This thing of talking through the phone, kwani unaniongopa? And I've been with you for some time.
I'm seeing time in advance. Time in the comment section.
Now, before even we finish, I have a question. Do you think
to me or to those people watching?
Everybody, including you, do you think like relationships huwa zinakuwa affected with the whole so-called work boyfriend, work girlfriend?
Work boyfriend, work girlfriend.
Sasa kama wewe ukiwa kazi.
Okay.
You have a girlfriend huko, kanaitwa work girlfriend.
Okay. Yeah. Work girlfriend ni mwenye anaenda kazi?
Hapana. Wewe ni girlfriend wako wa job. Ni kama bestie wa kazi.
Okay, nikitoka kwa nyumba nikienda site.
Kuna bestie yako huko site. Sasa wewe ndo anaitwa work girlfriend.
Sasa ile wengine wanaenda cafeteria.
Nyinyi mnaenda na KFC.
So you're trying to ask
this is not affecting relationships too pia bado, because we are talking about relationships and career. Like me, for example, if I trust you as maybe my boyfriend, uko nje, you're working, I don't have anything to worry about, but sasa wewe ukiwa huko, you have some other things that you're thinking, or some other people that you're interacting with. Not mutually, you're interacting with them in another level. You know what I say?
Like traditional, I've always been saying this, and I'll say for another time as we just end this. A man will always love what he sees. I'm not offending anybody, and I'm not exposing any secret that was there during the men's conference. So I'm just saying, like, a man will always be attracted to whatever he sees, and a woman will be attracted to whatever she hears. It's natural, of course. You tell a woman, "I love you," she'll believe in that.
Mnasemaga?
Okay, you tell you tell a woman, but then as a man, slightly to set na expose kitu, but I'm sorry if I'm exposing, of course.
No worries.
Sasa wanaachana, like maybe bwana ametoka kwa nyumba asubuhi akienda kazi. You like we've been together. Sasa anaenda hivi kidogo akitembea labda nini kwa kazi. You know, is a work environment. So ataanza kuwa attracted, you know, this lady wears good, nini, you know, she anapita nini singine, you know. So it gets there. So okay, zinaweza sema zinachangia. Of course zinachangia, I'll be honest. If in my honest aspect, I'll be very honest and say like zinachangia, because you come from work and your mind is exhausted. You've like expressed all kind of love, and you're just coming home. When you're just coming home, of course, unapata like niaje, your woman is there, anaanza kukuuliza sijui pesa chakula iko wapi, and then you get bored. Labda hata mlikula sapa before.
Yaani mnaboeka mkiulizwa pesa ya chakula. Oh God.
It's an example. It's an example thing. You know, a woman will always want like tutafute point ya kugombana. Okay, I've seen it. African moms, I'm not like saying like I've ever married. African moms will always look at a point where they can start quarreling with you. Mbona umevaa hivi, mbona umepaka mdomo, unaona? Like mbona unavaa specs na unaona? You understand? So those are petty things that transpire into the
relationship interesting.
Yeah.
You know, make relationship interesting.
So definitely in a one answer question, I'll say like they do they interfere. They interfere. So I think we'll bring the conversation there. I don't know if you have anything left, because I'm just saying like
maybe just have a parting shot.
Before you give me a parting shot, of course, DJ Catchist Nova Studio. As my FD representing. So I think they'll continue watching it, and of course we have Regan Angolo who says Leo tuko on mbaya.
Thank you.
Is one and part is a member, of course, of the fraternity of Movo TV.
Yes.
So maybe just as you give your parting shot to a young, I don't know, but I know we are speaking in a comrade perspective. That comrade who has just finished the campus, of course, ametoka, and she's trying to weigh in between. Now you're speaking in regard to a woman perspective. Ule mwenye amemaliza campus, unaelewa? Like amemaliza campus, and she's trying to weigh in between carrying the two things, relationship, of course, and career. Unaelewa? So zote lazima zisonge mbele. Of course it's heart and hustle. So definitely like just your parting shot in regard to the same as we end this.
So for heart and hustle, a parting shot. There's not really a problem, but managing or rather balancing your work and your relationship might be really difficult or rather challenging. But my parting shot today is there are some other ways you can like practice to navigate the whole challenges of work and relationships, or the hustle and relationship. So my number one best practice is communicating. Communicate with your partner, communicate with your person. What do they like, what do they not like about the whole relationship, and what you do when you're balancing him or her with the career that you're having. Another thing is setting boundaries, because again in careers you have to understand the boundary between your career and your relationship for it to work. You're getting that point. And then the third point is apart from boundaries and communication, you have to also check the intentionality. How intentional are you in the relationship? Because you guys have a goal. If you're together, you have a goal. So how intentional are you towards pursuing this goal with this person? So navigating the whole issue of work and or hustle and heart or relationship is just knowing how to communicate and understanding how intentional both of you are, and then setting the boundaries between your work and the relationship. Yeah, that's my parting shot.
Okay, that is our parting shot, and I say, like, you have to sit down. It's from the heart, so definitely there must be an understanding.
Yes.
That is it for this evening on our first episode, of course, the heart and hustle. We've been trying to dig deep when it comes to the issue of the heart and hustle. When you speak about the heart, of course, there is an aspect of love and hate.
Yeah.
And of course, when you speak about the heart of hustle, we include their career, because we find it as a young generation very hard to merge the two and integrate them to making a family. And of course, there is an importance of having a career in a relationship. We have touched on that. And of course, we have an importance of also having a good working environment when it comes to love, because it is where we build our families from. I think from the first discussion, we end this there.
Thank you for watching.
Maybe
subscribe, comment, give us likes. We want to see more content like this. Thank you.
Until next Thursday, I'm Vincent Okinda. Continue watching, share as Chitoma has told you, because Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. Don't go away. Just boost your bundles, because we're coming back again with another good episode where the public matters concerning health is going to be discussed fully, and our guest is already in studio. Thank you.